What exactly is light? How is it spread? Do we see objects with reflected light or with rays coming out of our eyes? Newton's prism experiment and particle theory of light. Isaac Newton argued that the phenomenon of refraction and reflection of light could only be explained if the light consisted of particles. Because wave-like light would not tend to travel in a straight path, those who defended that light propagated in the form of waves claimed that light consisted of white light and that the color spectrum, which could be seen through a prism, was formed by the distortion of the light inside the glass. This meant that the more light passed through the glass, the more it would distort. To prove this hypothesis wrong, Newton resorted to an experiment that would send a white light through both prisms. The prisms were placed at such an angle that the light splits into spectral colors as it passes through the first prism and turns into white light again after passing through the second prism. Newton's experiment showed but what causes the color spectrum. It wasn't glass or prism that transformed light. The light consisted of colored particles that combined to appear white. With this point of view, Newton came to the conclusion that the phenomenon of color is not a property of objects, but a property of light reflected from objects. The colors of the objects came from the color of the colored light particles that illuminated them. Isaac Newton himself had some doubts about the particle theory he had put forward for the nature of light. However, its prestige in the scientific community was so heavy that those who supported this theory ignored almost all the flaws of the theory. Problems of Newton's theory of light. This theory, which says that light is a particle, had some problems. Rays come out of the light source, and these rays should be composed of particles, just as Newton said. Therefore, when the light source emits these particles, it must suffer a mass loss. However, scientists living at that time could not measure such a loss. Another problematic explanation of Newton's theory is that the speed of light is too high in a dense medium. He claimed that his speed would be less in a less dense environment, because, according to Newton, light entering a dense medium would be attracted by the molecules in that medium, and thus an increase in the speed of light would be observed.